sort of video update thing. So I've been making these fingerless gloves, which are super awesome. But this one, as you can see, kind of fits my hand really snugly. This is a commission I'm doing for one of my guy friends. So obviously I would want to make these not fit my hand so perfectly. If you know me in person, you know that I have baby hands. As opposed to this one that is slightly bigger and fits my hand not as tightly, not as perfectly. So tomorrow I'm going to spend time to block this out. So tomorrow I'll be doing that process and probably gonna upload this, probably, maybe not, who knows. See you then. Okay, crafties, so I'm here again. Like I said yesterday, I'm going to be blocking my fingerless gloves that I made. So what I'm gonna do is not wash them on extra heavy, but I am going to turn my settings to delicate. And this is not only a way to dampen your project, but it's also a way to test it, like stress test it, to make sure that, you know, it's not going to unravel on the person once you've given it to them or whatever. So I'm also going to just put my settings on a small wash load, and I'm just going to leave it on the warm, cold temperature. The project that I've done today is made out of wool, so don't really want to shrink it, don't want to make it frigid. And I'm going to take a pause here to throw these on in the machine. Alright, and here I have put my soaps in, and I have my water running, and I'm just going to throw them in there, and we'll check them out when they come out. So I am here, crafties, and as I said earlier, I threw these in the machine, I let them wash, and that's my way of blocking as well as stress testing them. And you can see that they held up really well in the wash, so that means when I pass these on to my commissioner, my patron, that it won't come apart on them at all. So that's great, and you can obviously tell the one that got tested on their hands because it's obviously bigger than this one, but that is the point of this blocking here today. So you can see I'm trying it on, trying to see how the fingers feel. It feels odd having wet wool on my hands, but it's very soft, it feels very pliable now, less stiff, and I'm sure this one does as well. And this also kind of helps to shape it when you keep trying it on. So I'm just going through those motions now, getting them on, and as you can see, this one's a little bit tighter, but that's okay. We are going to start blocking these. So basically the definition of blocking is dampening your project and then pinning it down with your T-pins. If you don't have any, you can either go on eBay to get them, or your local beauty supply will have them. If your beauty supply sells wigs, then yeah, you're gonna have them there on the rack. But this is a little container that I bought. I think there's over 100 in here. It was really cheap. I think it was like $3 maybe for the whole pack. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my guidelines here, and I'm gonna determine where I want, or really the shaping of this glove. So I think I'm gonna just try to get them fairly generic and fairly straight. So really all I'm doing is kind of pulling, stretching, not too much, because you don't want to oversize the glove or the project, but you want to more so guide its shape, so to speak. And so that's what I'm doing here. And whatever I do to this glove, again, that math equation, what you do to one side of the equation you have to do to the other, I'm going to be doing that. So that's why I have my blocks together. I should probably change them so the lines match up, but more or less you can already see the size difference. So you want to kind of do your best to fix that and not have them looking horrible. And this is just one of those helpful professional practices that will take you a long way. But I know one of the things when I was measuring and sizing him for the glove is that it was getting a little snug in here, and where, yeah, it's a little snug for me on this one, his hands are bigger than mine, so you want to make sure that it just fits right in general. Also, it's really helpful if you have measurements of certain things. Usually with the gloves, that's not really a problem, because in general I use acrylic when I am making gloves, but this person needed a wool glove, so this has been a new kind of experience. So now what I'm going to do here is, first of all, move this over and just quickly snap apart my puzzle pieces so they line up. That would be nice for the most part. And now what I'm going to do is mirror these. So you can see me stretching and pulling, and depending on how much water or liquid that you used when you were blocking your project, that will determine how fast you need to move with your blocking, because if it is a quick drying material, then you're obviously going to want to move super quick to ensure that you can actually get the blocking done. But then that's why most people have a spray bottle. I happen to not have mine anymore. It mysteriously vanished. It's probably around my art desk now that I think about it. So I'm just going to try to place these pins where I have them on the other glove, trying to make that parallel, keeping this side of the hand pretty straight up, which is great. And you can already see that I have the lengths matched up here, so that's cool. And gonna kind of stretch that. But yeah, blocking to me is more important with wool items than any other material. I have noticed wool to like bunch up more, and you just really want to get in there and shape that. Now, not to say that you wouldn't want to block your acrylic items either, because there are some patterns that will ruffle or bunch up, and where you want to eliminate that, then you would definitely want to block your project. So you guys may notice I'm actually on my floor, my poor paint stained floor. I am going to be moving to this floor space kind of often in the last few months of the year, just because I'm going to be doing a rug tutorial. I think I mentioned it before in either a post or in one of the earlier videos. I plan on designing a rug for my room, and I'm actually right now in the process of designing that and writing the pattern out for it. And I hope it works out, because I super look forward to doing something like that with you guys and for you guys. It's going to be so much fun, I feel like. In this video, when this video goes up, it'll be sort of an intermediate type thing. There is, of course, another tutorial coming up on the 25th of November, which is next Sunday, and I believe that is the one for the cable stitching. You'll hear me talk about it in that video, that I had to do a little re-recording, so I'm just a little jumbled around. I'm also still figuring out this camera, how the focus works, and it's been so fun. So I'm kind of flip-flopping between my phone camera and this camera for this video, just to, well, for one, not have to set up because the setup is interesting, but also the phone camera allows me more mobility for certain things than does the new fancy camera, as I call it. Alright, so now that I have these pinned and blocked, they are going to stay on this mat until they dry, and then once they dry, they should maintain this shape that I have kind of forced them into. And if you still feel like your shaping isn't right, like in here, I feel like this spacing is a little eh. I'm just gonna stretch it a little more and put more pins as needed. And so there I am. There we go. So now you can see that I can pretty much get my hand in there, and I can get my hand in here pretty much the same way. And I'm feeling like this should be super sufficient. I just keep eyeballing it. I want to make sure that it lines up with the sides of the hands and things like that. So, alright. And also, this one's just being stubborn, my gosh. But yeah, so that concludes this sort of mini video. I hope that maybe my blocking methods could be kind of helpful. I don't know. I don't normally block on camera or have to block very often because of the nature of my projects, but if this was helpful, why don't you give me a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below, and check out my other social media for other updates in the future. So yeah, happy making, crafties.